Yep.
To now all of a sudden becoming an afterthought, and just every time he gets up there are so many holes in his swing, swinging at bad pitches, letting good pitches go by. I mean, it's
the boomer line that stood for 10 years. Baseball's every day.
It is, yeah. And the more you see, the more you
glimpses and spurts and even month-long situations, and all of a sudden you got to play again tomorrow. And the kid's clearly, like he was a year ago, struggling.
I don't know if he's exhausted. I don't know if he is just completely checked out. This is like it's like an amazing thing going on here. I mean, in a negative way.
Yeah. Well, listen. You hope we getting Hicks back, you get Castro back. That
I'm saying for Aaron himself. This is mind-boggling.
Doesn't it seem like he's always up in a big spot, guys on base?
It always seems like at the end of the game he's up and he has a chance, and obviously everybody wants to hit him for him to hit a home run.
Yep.
But hey, look, I'm not taking great joy in this, because I took great joy, just like every other baseball fan, watching him do what he did the first half of the season.
Right.
But his numbers since the All-Star break, and whatever causes these numbers, whether it be the home run derby or whatever.
Well, one scout said that they figured him out, that people now know how to pitch him.
Yeah.
Because you watch a kid play enough, you figure out what's wrong with his swing or where he's weak in his swing. Every player's got something, I suppose, right?
Yep.
And I forget who, I don't know if it was anonymous or I read it this morning, that they have figured him out, meaning they pitch him high and tight. They're trying to keep the ball in on his hands.
Yep.
And he's, as a young player, he has a weakness, and they exploit it. And that's apparently what they're doing. Now, I don't know if you buy into that or not, but that's a guy who.
But there's also decisions that have to be made in the batter's box by the player himself.
Like what not to swing
and what not to swing at, what he should be swinging at. And I know when there's a prolonged slump of any sort for any of these players, the fans get really edgy about it, and they start wondering what's going on here. Joe Girardi has been a baseball man his entire life.
Yep.
He's got a bench full of coaches that have been around baseball for their entire lives. Somehow, some way, they got to get this kid figured out.
Starting tonight.
I mean
it. The season starts tonight. I think the season could be over 10 days from today.
That's amazing.
Right? You have 6 games against the Red Sox. Forget about the games against the Mets for a minute. You're down, 4.5, I think it is, right? You have 6 games against the Red Sox. The New York Yankees, based on the next 10 games, are either going to be the same spot they're in, they're going to be in first place, or they're going to be out of it. That's on the table to be 10 games out.
It's definitely on the table. And Sonny Gray pitches. I watched him last night. He was a little bit wild, and David Cohn was talking about some of the things. But the one thing you can say about Sonny Gray, and I think David was saying it last night, that guy competes, man. Yep. He will compete. He'll give you everything that he's got. And the good news for the Yankees, he'll be back on their team next year. But I'm just telling you, watching this and watching what's happening to Aaron Judge is fascinating.
You think Sonny Gray ever thought he'd pitch for the Yankees this year and then pitch a game in which they got shut out?
Probably not.
He had to assume I'm going to get run support.